Good morning once again. We are here to talk baseball, and this is Research Fantasies MLB DFS pitcher picks for Friday, June 23rd, 2017. Had a pretty solid night last night. Very busy night last night, so excuse my brevity. In the article that we post on a daily basis, I was watching the CFL writing articles, watching the NBA draft, and it just got to a point where I said, I'm going to enjoy one of these things instead of trying to do all of them at the same time. So I did cut the article a little bit short. 15-game slate, definitely my favorite type to play. Hopefully, we won't have too many surprises. I did notice that Dinelson Lamet did have his outing pushed from Friday to Saturday. I noticed that I was considering him in his matchup, and I noticed that when I clicked on his name, it mentioned that he and Perdomo were going to switch starts. So, all things considered, think I like the plays I have lined up at pitcher today. Like I said, I just seem to have success on these 15-game slates. I can really, maybe it's just really being so nitpicky that when I don't fall in love with someone, it just doesn't seem like I want to play them. But a lot of players I like on this slate. Lineup construction will be no issue whatsoever. Let's start things off with Kyle Freeland of the Colorado Rockies. 12-8 fantasy draft, 7,500 FanDuel, 6,400 DraftKings. Like, look, he's a young guy. I'm a big-time believer in his skill set. Facing a Dodgers team that still is not great at hitting left-handed pitching. They're better than they have been, but still you're not removing, but you're reducing the potency of Seager and Bellinger, and that in itself is just such a big deal at this point with how those two are playing. Has enough of a strikeout upside and enough of a skill set that I'm really not afraid to use him as an SP2 in spots tonight. I prefer the SP2 tournament route to cash game exposure, but we'll have to see how the lineups build out tonight. But Kyle Freeland traveling to Los Angeles is definitely going to be one of my favorite plays tonight. Next up, let's go Alex Wood, 18-4 fantasy draft, 9,500 FanDuel, 9,600 on DraftKings. I hope I don't end up way off on this, but I really, really like Alex Wood tonight. I think those prices are fantastic against him. Now I'm kind of see why they wanted to switch he and Hyunjin Ryu last night, because this is just a much better matchup for Wood. We know that outside of Coors over the last several years, the Rockies have had trouble against left-handed pitching, but I think you have to start to look at that lineup and ask yourself, is that really going to stay consistent? Mark Reynolds, Ian Desmond, Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, DJ LeMahieu, like, they've got enough righties that the whole watch out for the lefties thing's a little bit overrated, but still, Wood's just been a terrific pitcher this year. The Rockies coming out of Coors, going to a ballpark that's anything but Coors in LA. I think this sets up to be a terrific situation for Wood tonight. I would not be shocked to see him end as the highest point total on the slate. Wrapping things up, the choice at the top, do I go Steven Strasburg or do I go Chris Archer? As crazy as this sounds, I just can't trust Steven Strasburg, and I'm going to trust Chris Archer a little bit more. Archer, I just feel like, has the better matchup for strikeout upside here, the Orioles. Yes, that this is a team that can absolutely go out there and throw 10 runs on you like, no one's business. But if you see what Corey Kluber did against them, I don't see why we couldn't expect a similar outing out of Chris Archer. Pitching better this year, more consistent. The strikeouts, even though they were a little lower at the beginning of the year, definitely have picked up over the last month and a half or so. So I think what it comes down to is you're looking at a situation where I think Archer has a better probability of shutting this Orioles lineup down than Strasburg does shutting down. And quite frankly, I can't remember offhand who he's going up against, but I just know that I would much prefer to have Archer today. That'll wrap it up. Top 3 tournament options in the pitcher zone. It'll be Kyle Freeland, Alex Wood, Chris Archer. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Head over to researchfantasy.com. Check us out there. Like us on Facebook at Research Fantasy. Follow us on Twitter at Research and Win. And join us again tomorrow.